Hi, I'm Nick Meador, and I'm the founder of Soul Lift Cacao. I was living with chronic fatigue syndrome for a few years, and I was trying to find answers, trying to seek help for that, but nothing was really helping until in 2015, someone shared what they called ceremonial cacao and led a cacao ceremony in my home state of Michigan. And it had a really profound effect on me. I didn't totally understand it right away, but within a couple of months, I was making significant changes in my life and my health and wellness overall. In that first ceremony, I remember we all got to walk up to the big pot of cacao and pour some into a cup. I had always liked chocolate, but still at that moment, I didn't understand what could be the spiritual significance of cacao until I sat and drank it and closed my eyes and paid attention to my breath. And it had a profound effect on me. I felt clearer in my mind than was common at that time because in addition to the fatigue, there was a lot of brain fog. And I went from that experience to lead my own workshop that was scheduled at that festival. And I just felt clearer and more on the ball than I had in a long time. After cacao had that profound impact on me in 2015, it was instantly clear to me that I needed to go to the source and to try to find out more about it and also to learn why I had never heard about this before. It was such a mystery. I had already been wanting to go to Guatemala as an adult because I visited when I was 13, when my family adopted my sister from Guatemala. On that trip, I felt a connection with the Mayan people right away, but I didn't hear about cacao or chocolate being a part of the culture there on that trip. So I wanted to go back as an adult anyway to experience Guatemala again. I had been hearing about Lake Atitlan as well and spiritual travelers going there to experience what they called a cosmic vortex. But once I did have that direct experience with authentic ceremonial cacao, I knew I needed to go even more. And I traveled there in the start of 2016, 2017, 2018. Each time I would ask people, what is the story with ceremonial cacao or what is the history? And especially in those first trips, I wasn't able to find any reliable information, especially among people who were not part of the expat or traveler circles. It would usually be just question marks when I would ask them, what is this about? From there, my path with cacao unfolded 1 year at a time, where at first I was really just focused on my own healing journey. And then from traveling to Central America, I started to bring the artisanal, or what I would call authentic ceremonial cacao, back to share with friends and my community. And one thing led to another. I was hosting cacao circles in my home. Eventually, people started to ask me to mail it to them in other states, so I had to figure out that whole thing, cacao shipping. And in 2018, it dawned on me that this is something that people really need more access to, and I felt that sense of mission to make it more accessible while also supporting the indigenous people who are keeping cacao traditions alive. People often ask me how I thought of the name Soul Lift Cacao, and to be honest, I don't remember exactly. I was traveling through Central America and I visited my first cacao farm, and that's essentially how cacao made me feel. It was not just a mood boost, but something deeper than that. The mission of Soul Lift Cacao is to share traditionally prepared cacao that is made by indigenous artisans in places with pre-Hispanic cacao history here in the US to make it more accessible to the people who need it, because the indigenous people that I work with do consider it a medicine and they want it to spread and help people around the world. They know that the world needs it. I also try to be really mindful as an American, as a man, as someone with predominantly European heritage, to be mindful and cautious about how I'm working with cacao and how I'm running this business. That's why it's extremely important to me to have the permission anyone can work with cacao and connect with cacao, regardless of their culture or their background. But for those of us who don't have cacao heritage, as I call it, it's just even more important to be cautious, to make sure that we're connecting with cacao in a respectful way. Even the way that we talk about cacao is important.